So, Mark the Movie Man here. I'm at the MidWest WeirdFest, a night in horror international film fest, and I am here with a very talented star. I just got done watching her film the last weekend. It's Virginia Dewitt, and she is the main star in here. And Virginia, this is an intense role that you had. And how did you get yourself into the headspace to be Sylvia? Because she goes through such a range. I felt so much weight. How'd you get in that headspace?
Well, I think being able to work with an intimate team allowed me to go into those places. And also, since we had such a fast shooting style, I knew I'd only have to be able to maintain her for 5 days. So it was 5 days shooting Sylvia and then 3 days sleeping her off and trying to detox her.
I was going to say, how did you get out of it, or just stay Sylvia for those 5 days, basically?
I remember Charlie and I had a conversation towards the end of filming about, going home, kissing our respective partners and beginning to feel normal again, and just like, okay, let's just eat a meal and watch something done that I don't have to be super emotionally invested in, and just get rid of these guys.
Now, you shot this 3 years ago, and Babylon came out in 2022, and I hope you don't mind me doing the comparison, but Margot Robbie, when she's on her Coke run talking about Hollywood, your rant with your co-star, your just the random, not so random, but that just fast-paced conversation reminded me of her performance in it. How were you able to pull that off? Was all of that scripted, or was some of it improv? Because the way you rattled off the dialogue and everything, it just had that energy.
Well, first of all, I love Margot Robbie. Thank you so much.
Sure.
I actually haven't seen Babylon,
Sure.
So I can't comment on that. It's been on the list. I'm a new mom, so it's sometimes hard to see
Sure.
other things. I also haven't seen Barbie. But a lot of that was improv. I knew a lot of the points I wanted to make and some of the weird ideas floating around Sylvia's head. So I don't know how many of those things came up on the fly. I actually, funnily watching that scene, don't have a recollection of it. And
Sure.
Fun fact, both Charlie Burnett and I are teetotalers, so
it
was especially funny shooting that scene.
Sure.
I think I didn't necessarily know what order they were going to show up in, but I already had an idea about what kind of ideas this character had about the world she lived in.
And how much of yourself did you put in, if you don't mind me asking, of the Sylvia character? Because it felt very grounded and realistic, what you brought to the character, and it felt like you were putting a lot of, at least your own emotions into each one of these long scenes.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard keeping her separate, and there was a theme about, the masculine and feminine dynamic, and so it's hard to not bring your own experiences as a woman into it. But, the scene where Sylvia speaks to her mother was an interesting one to shoot, because my mother probably wouldn't have reacted that way.
Sure.
But a lot of actors like to root in specificity, but I think I had to root Sylvia in a lot of abstraction, because even though I didn't have anything personal to pull for that scene, I could understand and, have at times understood, like, great shame and humiliation and just, devastation, and being able to put that into, one of those long takes, and that was, the challenge of shooting these multi-minute takes that ended up on screen. And so I'm really grateful. Thank you, Martha Gaiman, my acting teacher, who said, you've got to learn about plays.
Sure.
So, yeah, it was definitely studying plays more than camera acting that I think facilitated that.
But does the long takes, did that help you get into those scenes a little bit more, rather than saying, okay, cut, we're moving cameras? If you got one camera, or if you got two cameras, you're like, okay, we're going to do it all again now from the other angle. Did that help kind of keep you in the moment more?
Definitely. Again, the short shooting schedule lent itself to being able to go really, really deep into some of those places, and then also having someone as talented and generous as a scene partner as Charlie helped as you said, like stay in the moment, since we don't have to stop and reset and change lighting around. So it's always really great when you're able to just kind of into it.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned it at the fest, but if you just wouldn't mind giving my viewers real quick what your next project that you can talk about is coming up as that they should look for.
I've got my directorial debut is called Carita. It's shot in English and Japanese. It was shot entirely on location in Tokyo, so I'm hoping to make festival circuit with that. And then I have a short project called Horse that's going to be released by Zozo Villa. It is a short film structure that is commercially sponsored. I don't want to spoil it too much.
Sure.
We do loop back into the commercial aspect towards the end. I am writing a feature, and I'm actually not represented. So I'm
working on that.
Yeah, next thing is being able to get an agent and just start auditioning the hell out of, that godforsaken city called Los Angeles.
Why would you want to go back? But
I'm married in Angelino.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. You married into Los Angeles. Well, thank you very much. This was a pleasure. Thank you for a wonderful performance. Folks, if you're out there, check out a festival. If you can see the last weekend, it's wonderful. And her performance alone is worth it. And I'm not just saying that because she's here. I mean that, really. So thank you.
Thanks so much. Good.